All right, YouTube, it's me, Kisong with King Song Sneakers once again. Just want to tell a brief story about yesterday for me. Yesterday was Spokane's very first sneaker convention, Spokane, Washington. I think there's another Spokane out there somewhere. But we don't ever have anything like that. I know the streetwear culture in this city is pretty mild at best, not to say that it's not there. Certainly a lot of people migrating here from Seattle lately. And there's sneakerheads in every town and city, I think. Uh-oh. Sorry. That is Hazelnut. I've had her since I was 19 years old, so it's been a long time. She's a good girl. Anyway, so Spokane's first sneaker convention. I heard about it from an employee of mine at the restaurant who didn't actually have any interest herself in sneakers, but she knew I did, and so she brought it up to me, which is kind of interesting because I thought I would hear about it through, you know, the internet algorithms and things I would be interested in and things like that, and I did not. So the event came up, I found it, and I went with fairly low expectations. There's always a couple of pair of sneakers that I really want out of the hype beast stuff. You know, I always try to encourage not to get things that are overly hyped, just because you're paying for a brand, you know. But then there's some stuff that I just really enjoy. I do think that the Yeezy 700s. Oh, Hazel, come on, get down. The Yeezy 700 Wave Runners are one of those shoes for me. That's a sort of a grail. And then these guys. So without talking too much anymore, I will just open them up. So I walked around the place very briefly. There wasn't a whole lot of stuff there. A couple of tables no-showed, and there were maybe four tables, and then a couple were going to be late, but I didn't have time to hang out. But one of the tables did have these, and not only did they have them, but they were in my size, which, I mean, good Lord, I was so excited just because my expectations were so low. So these are the Jordan 4s, the Travis Scott Cactus Jacks, obviously, as you can see by the Cactus Jack tag. And I mean, Jordan 4 is such an iconic thing. It's been around for a really long time. And these are something of grails for me, not really for any reason, you know, like I like Travis Scott's music. It's not my favorite music. And Jordans really aren't my favorite shoes. I don't have many of them at all. I actually don't have really a favorite brand, but this colorway specifically was attractive to me, and I like all the little details. So I was pretty excited to see that these were there. And not only were they there, but they appear to be dead stock. I mean, they still have all the stuff inside, and there's, you know, hasn't been worn. The material on the bottom is still got that like sticky outer coating on the rubber, you know. The suede's not creased at all, and it's super smooth, so it's pretty exciting. So at the sneaker convention, I mean, this guy had these. He had off-white Jordan 1s. He had Yeezys, the Butters, which I'm not a huge fan of personally. The colorway just kind of reminds me of a dirty white shoe. And then there was, you know, a consignment style booth. Dudes were selling Bape and Supreme clothing and shirts, which is clothing, but like hoodies, shirts, bumper stickers, just, you know how Supreme has their hand in everything. And then they had sneakers that were like lightly worn, probably only a couple of times, you know, NMD hues, in some colorways that I'd never seen in person. Different Yeezy 350 V2s that I had never seen in person, but all of them not in my size. And then the stuff that they did have in my size was a little bit more used than I would have liked, you know, Ultra Boosts that are already yellowing, stuff like that, you know. I mean, if I want to spend that kind of money, I would prefer to get something that's not that used. Unless it's something that is like super grail status. I mean, like Sean Wotherspoon's, that's just such a cool shoe, idealistically. I mean, it's vegan, it's corduroy, it's fun. That's something that I would consider doing, but just for like a pair of Ultra Boosts or something, maybe not. But they did have a lot of cool stuff, and the guys talked to me. They introduced themselves to me because I'm not very socially outgoing. And they talked about how they wanted to do a sneaker consignment store if the environment was right. You know, they did things in the neighboring city nearby, Coeur d'Alene, and they just wanted to see if this area was all, and I quote, hillbilly and redneck vibes or something like that, which is funny because, you know, I mean, we're not all hillbillies and rednecks. I came looking for Cactus Jacks and I got them. So am I into the streetwear as much? No. And I'll kind of get into that in the end of the video if you guys choose to stick around after I go through the details of the shoe. So Jordan 4 standard model, exaggerated tongue, silver Jumpman flight on there. I don't really know if that's normal. The white on the black, the splatter on the I'm really not sure what you'd call this thing, but it holds this eyelet. These plastic eyelets are cool to me. This is why the 4 is my favorite, because it's not a super exaggerated shoe. There's a few layering elements, you know, the cage, the mesh, different layers of suede, this guy, but these eyelets are like a fun hit that doesn't overburden the rest of the shoe. It's not an extreme detail, and it kind of looks like a crown the way the lace go through it. I know that some Jordan 4s actually use like a crown on here. I like that this doesn't, because it's a little more subtle while still being cool. The red air bubble to go with the red felt inside, but then the felt on the tongue is actually black, which I think is a good thing, because one thing I hate about the inside of shoes, like the lining, is if they do like a bright color or a white or something, then it's harder to keep that looking good, because I actually like to wear my sneakers. And I do plan on wearing these in spite of their collector's price. That said, some other cool details that are unusual. The Air Jordan in here, upside down, Jumpman on here, Cactus Jack on the inside. And then for the other shoe, same thing, flight tag, Cactus Jack dangly bit, Cactus Jack on the back instead of the Jumpman, and then instead of Cactus Jack on the inside, this has the Jumpman, so it's like reverse, which is kind of neat. Super soft suede. A couple of things that might be unique to my shoe are that this isn't straight, but that might be by design, because I know that tongues don't sit level when you wear them, because they're both at the same off angle, like for both, you know what I'm saying? Like this one is higher here on this side, and it's higher on the outside on this one too. So I think that's by design, just because tongues don't sit perfectly flat when you wear them. They actually slide to the side, so it keeps the patch level. And then this one has a lot of like glue imperfections along the outside. You can see it kind of reflecting here on where the sole meets the suede. The other one does not really have that issue quite as bad. But again, I do plan on wearing these, so I don't really care about those nitpicky details. And then something that's to note is that this suede is not like basic suede. This stuff is super soft, very, very premium feeling, I guess would be the word I would use. So it's fun. I actually like these laces. They're kind of waxy, and they give kind of an iridescent glow when the light hits them just right, so that's kind of cool. I will be relacing these when I wear them, because I don't like the way that they're laced right now. So still, like when these twist over, man, that bugs me. I don't know about you guys, but that bugs me. So I'm gonna relace them after this video. I'm done filming it. So anyway, I don't usually have too many hypebeast things. You know, I did a video on the Yeezy 350 triple whites, and really I enjoyed that release because there were so many of them and they were so available that I could actually get a pair without a sneaker convention. But I mean, now that we're doing those things, apparently, maybe I'll have a better chance in the future. But I always want to emphasize that people need to get comfortable with themselves and like what they like and be proud of those things. So don't let brands sort of dictate what you buy, because you're just sort of feeding into their own self-fulfilling prophecy. I mean, if you like cats, wear shirts with cats on them, you know, sport that stuff and be proud of it. Don't worry about what, you know, Joe Blow down the road thinks about your hoodie, you know, just because doesn't have a Supreme box logo on it doesn't mean that it's not cool. And I think when people feel like they're wearing something that's cool because other people like it, they're doing it for the wrong reason. It's like trying to be unique and stand out, but by not being unique, by being what people want to see and not how you want to be seen. So definitely, I always encourage that kind of thing. And that's why all my t-shirts are graphic t-shirts that are done by artists. I mean, there's several websites all over the internet. You can find them anywhere. There's super affordable t-shirts out there that have art, you know. I love pictures. They mean so many different things. They can be translated in so many different ways based on where you are in life. I mean, images are timeless things and they're up for interpretation. And I think that there's more value in that kind of expression than there is in wearing a giant logo that's basically just free advertising for those people. I mean, there's something to be said for individuality with respect to streetwear culture. I think that streetwear is just branding. And yeah, I mean, I'm saying that all at the end of some Jordan Travis Scotts. Like what you like. I like these. And not for the reasons that I should have been programmed to like them for. I just really dig the color. And I dig the materials. And I dig that they're subtle but not subtle, you know. I mean, it's a Jordan 4 without being overly flashy. You know, the only thing that makes these flashy is the fact that they are Travis Scott's, you know, that they're a limited release, but that in itself is not why I got them. So anyway, really excited about these sneakers. I'm gonna hit them with some water repellent stuff to see if that ruins them or not, because this material, I mean, it changes color when you, man, it's so soft. So I hope it doesn't ruin it, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna wear them. And be sure to check back in the future. Still owe you guys a bunch of videos, and I know I've been slowing down because of work. It's been quite busy at my restaurant, and there's just a lot going on, a lot of unfortunate events. So check back with me in the future. Be sure to subscribe. Comment below if you like my little rant there. I definitely have been told that I should do videos with more rants. I think if I'm allowed to bounce off of other people, maybe I'll invite guests over and we'll just rant about, you know, stuff. There certainly is a lot to rant about. I mean, the state of culture is interesting, to say the least. So definitely let me know how you guys feel and check back in the future. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, I appreciate you, the few of you that do watch and do mess with me. So check back in a bit, and I will see you guys later.